What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Self-Made. I think this is episode 16 now, which is crazy. That means I've been going for 16 weeks. So, yeah, it's gone by quick. Anyway, we're going to be talking about this question that I see a lot. I see it a lot in the media. I see it a lot in forums, Facebook groups. Is the cleaning business too saturated? What do you think? Do you think it's too saturated? Do you think that there's too many businesses in the market? Do you think there's not enough houses to clean? When you put it like that, doesn't really seem like it, does it? How many houses are there in Australia? There's a lot. How many cleaning businesses are there? Not that many. So the cleaning business is a very fragmented industry. And by that, I mean, if you look at other industries like Coca-Cola, they own like half the market. You know, they have 50% or more market share. McDonald's, they have 30% market share. That's a big chunk of the market that's being held up by one company. If you look at cleaning, there is no company in Australia that has more than 1% market share. We're a big cleaning company in our city. We only have probably 0.1% market share. And then the next guy only has 0.05%. So it's a very, very fragmented industry. And so I don't agree with the notion that it's saturated. Sure, there's a lot of businesses because it's a very low barrier of entry. It's very easy and cheap to get into the business, but there's so much business to be had that you really shouldn't be worried about competition, especially if you're doing the things that we talk about in this podcast. And if you follow the things that I say on Instagram and the things that I do in my business, if you're doing business like that, you'll never have to worry about competition, especially in such a low barrier industry like cleaning. There's so many businesses, but there's so many businesses that aren't doing the right things. And that being said, even if they were, there's so much business to be had. It's so fragmented. Everyone's got their own tiny slice of the pie. You can get yours as well. If you're on the fence about starting a cleaning business because it seems like everyone's starting one, that's true. Everyone is. But on that same token, there's a lot of people getting out of the industry every day. And there's a lot of new people moving into new homes in wherever you live. There's a lot of new people coming into the market. There's a lot of people going out of the market. That's just the endless perpetual cycle of any industry. It's just that cleaning is so cheap and easy to get into that we see it a lot more. And we see a lot of individuals that go into it. They charge bottom of the barrel rates, and you see them in the Facebook groups. There's like 60 comments under every post. It's like, hey, I need a cleaner. Do you have any recommendations? Yeah, it's going to look saturated. But if you really dig deep into it, it's not a very competitive market. It's very easy to get your own little bit of business. It's very easy to get off the ground, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money or time. And so I really dislike the competitive nature of everything. I've been told by this one really big coach in Australia that I shouldn't be giving out advice on my podcast or on my TikTok for free because it's such a competitive market and it's already too saturated. And we just shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, well, yeah, there's a lot of people in the market, but there's a lot of people in the market because there's a lot of business. And so I don't want people getting disheartened or thinking that that's the reality of it, is that there's too many businesses in our market. It's simply not true. I live in a city of 130,000 people, probably less actually, about 100,000 people. I've been able to build a 7-figure business in a couple of years. So very small sample size here, yet we've been able to create something big. And so once we've gone to Perth, which we're doing now, we've already started building it there. So many cleaning businesses in Perth. It's not affecting me whatsoever. I'm still finding little pockets here and there where there aren't many cleaners. These are the areas that we're looking at more and more. These are the areas that we're starting to attack because there is a lower concentration of cleaning businesses there. Obviously, you don't want to go into the areas that are fighting over scraps. You don't want to go into a red ocean, which is a concept I learned about through a guy called Russell Brunson, where the blue ocean is like a business that doesn't have a lot of people in it. So it's pretty much free game. Anyone can go in there and get their own bit of the market. A red ocean is kind of like how you could perceive cleaning right now. There's a lot of people in the water, a lot of sharks feeding on the market, and so the water's turning red. However, like I said, so much business to be had because there's just so many people in the market who can potentially engage in your service. It's also good for another reason. You can look at all these other businesses, take what's working for the good ones, find out what's not working, and kind of use that as your education before starting your business. You can study because there's so many businesses in the market, so many websites you can look at, so many quotes that you can get to gauge prices, so many different service packages that you can look at in order to figure out what you want to do. There's a lot of industries where you can't do that. And it makes it harder to get in because you don't really have an idea of what you need to do. You kind of have to go work for one of the companies or get a mentor, and it's just a much longer process. If you want to start a business now in the cleaning industry, just Google cleaning businesses in your area, see what they're doing, get an idea of how to do it, spend a couple $100 and you're already making money. So I disagree with that notion that the cleaning business is saturated. Obviously, I'm going to die on that hill. So many people seem to think that it's just getting too much and you should get out of the market and you should look at doing other things because there's just too many people in it. There's so many different niches as well. Like, it's cleaning as a whole is just an umbrella for hundreds of other little businesses. You've got gutter cleaning, you've got window cleaning, pressure cleaning. You've got, you can do pavement cleaning. You can really niche down into doing all sorts of things. We niche down into doing recurring weekly and fortnightly house and office cleaning. That's our thing. Then there's 10 other businesses in Bunbury that do like windows and ovens. There's literally a company that just does ovens. So super fragmented, so many different businesses, literally thousands upon thousands of cleaning companies in Australia. But there's tens of millions of homes, tens of millions of potential customers that you can be getting for yourself. So don't listen to all those people online and in the forums and in Facebook groups telling you that the cleaning business is too saturated. They're just wrong. You can drop me into any city in this country or any other country and I'll build another 7-figure business if you give me enough time. Okay? There's no area saturated enough to turn me away. I have a business that I started in what I believe is one of the most saturated places in Australia from what I've seen. That's the Sunshine Coast. Very, very saturated, okay? And there's just so many different businesses in this little area in Queensland. If you Google house cleaners in the Sunshine Coast, there's like 40 pages, whereas where I live, there's maybe 3 or 4. So very, very saturated. However, we were able to get the business to 6 figures in about 6 months, okay? Just from a standing start. We didn't have any backing behind that. We bootstrapped it. We didn't put a lot of money into ads. We got that to 6 figures pretty quickly. If it was that saturated to the point where it's not even worth going into, we would not have been able to do that. That being said, though, there's so many people getting into the business that don't know what they're doing like we do. They're spending a bit of money trying to get customers. Nothing's working. It's a little bit harder because there's so many other businesses that are doing better than them, and they just give up because they can't get their piece of the pie and they can't get it quick enough. And so if you're entering the market or if you're already in the market, you just need to look at what all the other businesses are doing and just look at it like there's going to be an average, there's going to be an above average, and there's going to be below average. Below average is where you want to stay far away from. Everything they do, you don't want to be doing. And everything all the top players in the market are doing, or all the people that are ranking in the top 10 in Google, you want to be copying them. You want to be studying them. You want to model their successes and use them in your business and do better. Innovate what's working. Innovate what other businesses are using to make them money and do it in yours. It's not plagiarism. It's not unethical for you to look at what another business is doing and take that, add your own twist to it, and bring it into your business. I always draw inspiration from other businesses. I've done it for our logo. I've done it for our checklist that's on our website. I got that idea from a cleaning company, just some random business in America. It was literally like a mum and a dad business. And I just saw that they had this really cool checklist concept. So I brought that into my business and it's been a hit since day one. It's now one of the fundamental things in our business that we've built a lot of things around just because I got that idea from another business. So the saturation is good because you can see all these other things happening and you can take ideas and you can bounce ideas off of each other because we're all friends. We're all in this together. We all do the same thing. Business can be a very lonely journey. So let's all band together, share experiences, trade ideas, and just have a good time. You know, it's not too saturated. There's a lot of people in the market, but that's because there's a lot of business to be had. So go out there, go get your piece of the pie. If you're already in the industry, don't worry about all the new people coming in. It's not going to affect you. Okay. Just stay on top of your game. Keep sharpening that saw. Keep listening to this podcast and keep trying new things. That's the only way you're going to stay ahead of the curve. If you just stay fresh in your marketing, in your systems building, and you just stay on the ball. Okay. So look at what all the other good people in the market are doing. Keep copying that, keep innovating, stay far, far away from those people. And we all know them, the people charging $30 an hour, the people who are just doing it by themselves, who don't really know what they're doing and have no goal or aim. Stay far away from them. Use them as an example of what not to do and keep doing what you're doing. So if you're new starting out, no, it's not saturated, plain and simple. Go start a business, go make some money and build yourself a legacy maybe, The sky's the limit with this business. And if you're already in the market, don't worry about it. Don't even look at all these new people coming in. Don't get discouraged because there is so much business to be had. Okay. Thanks for listening to another episode of Self-Made. My name's Jason. You can follow me on all socials at Jason Cleans. I'll see you in the next episode.